How's it going, everybody? My name is Daniel James, and this video I'm going to show you how someone made $1 million in 3 years with real estate. This is a crazy concept and I was blown away. It's a video podcast series and you'll be able to watch it right after this.
Everything lined up perfectly to where we were able
so cool.
to sell, and I was able to give that six-figure check.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so in-depth in kind of how his journey went, and I think you're going to enjoy it. Also, stay and watch to the end because you're really going to see what he did with this $1 million after he accumulated it, which is mind-blowing. So if you really want to see that, stay tuned to the end. And lastly, thanks for watching. You can like, share, subscribe. That'll help the YouTube algorithm. If you want more content, also comment below and share with what content you want to see. We're mostly doing business people and business individuals, but let us know what your thoughts are and enjoy the video. Cheers.
I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true, but the world is pretty cold. You might need a sweater too.
Hey guys, my name is Daniel James. I'm here with the Top Power Hour. We're interviewing entrepreneurs that are influential, people that have done things maybe that you haven't heard of as a business owner. Maybe you're a startup or a marketer or someone who's starting a venture, and even maybe you're in your venture but you're looking for those extra steps and extra pieces of knowledge that will get you to like those next levels. So yeah, let me know who you guys want on the show. Today's a very exciting episode for me, especially because it's a little bit about real estate, and I don't know so much about it, but I heard such crazy stories. And with me we have Isaiah Hupp, super awesome, down-to-earth guy, and thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Inviting me out and get to hang out with my friends. So this is good stuff.
I mean, it doesn't get better than that.
Come on.
Yeah, we just get to hang out and chat to you guys. So,
yeah.
And just the
sure, and we're just my real estate story is what you're looking for, right?
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, throw in whatever you want to throw in.
No, this is great. No, I have been obsessed. Maybe not obsessed, but I've been super interested in real estate.
Right.
Even as a kid, Monopoly was my favorite game.
Nice.
Loved it. Like my brother and I, we would start our Christmas break or our Thanksgiving break. We'd do 5 to 7 game series of Monopoly where we'd sit in our room. We shared a room and we would play Monopoly, and then the best of 7. So you had to win 4 games of Monopoly over Christmas break to win. I never lost a series to my brother.
No way. 7 games.
7 game series. I usually would sweep. I played Monopoly for real. Like you get the orange properties,
okay,
and you can wrap it around with the red. The reds aren't as important, but the oranges, if you can secure the oranges,
wow,
you will win like 95% of the time.
So they're like that's the mid-range.
They're the mid-range. You can buy houses and hotels for $100, and then when you max out New York Avenue, which is the third, it's St. James, Tennessee, and New York, and if you can max those out with hotels, it's $950, $1,000. Okay, so if you go to jail, can I get nerd out on guys, Monopoly?
Monopoly strategy, like if you're playing Monopoly with your business friends, this is how you beat them. Okay?
So you go to jail on the corner of Marvin Gardens and the green properties.
Right.
And then once you get out of jail, you're 6, 8, and 9 places away from hitting those orange properties on the dice. So you've got, it's like a 14 out of 36 to hit one of those. So every time that somebody lands in jail, 14 out of 36 times, they're going to hit one of those properties. So if you can max them out every other time, essentially, maybe, you're got a greater of a 1/3 opportunity to make that happen.
That's so great. So like right as you come out of jail, it's like consistent to, and the probability is so high.
Right.
So like that's probably part of business strategy, real estate strategy.
It's math. It's
right down to the board game, right?
It's a math. It's really a math and numbers game, and if you can get the math and numbers in your favor, then really it's just putting your head down and executing the plan.
Excellent.
And going from there. So yeah.
And I think that's scalable too. You could take it from a Monopoly game, sit down and say, hey, this is what I learned in Settlers of Catan. I mean, we're both kind of nerds.
That's another math game. I know. It's beautiful. I love it.
Like if you're challenging your brain as a business person or even an individual, like board games can do that so well.
Yes.
Right? Because you have like a safe environment.
Yep.
You have opportunities to take risks. And if you lose the game, then it's painful, right?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
So almost real life, but like safe enough.
Yes. Yeah. Cool. Board games are I mean,
yeah,
I'm a nerd.
So
they're fun.
So you move from Monopoly and you realize, okay, I have this knack for real estate.
Yes. Yeah. So I got married, and you're looking for a house. We were my wife and I both were working for the church
Cool.
for our youth department.
Nice.
Youth pastors don't make any money.
Right.
They were like some of the lowest paid on the totem pole, which is fine. It's fair.
Yeah.
But just trying to figure out how to buy a house in northern Colorado, market is pretty insane. But coming off of the crash in 2008, it was rebounding, but it was rapidly, all the deals were starting to evaporate and go away.
Wow.
And so we kind of got to the point where we had been at our jobs long enough to where we could secure financing and all of that kind of stuff. And our budget was $170,000.
Wow, in Colorado.
In Colorado.
Wow.
So you can, like, it was 2012, 2013. I don't remember.
Gotcha. Just as things are starting to
still
kind of low though.
So you could find something, but it was going to be, you're going to buy a starter house. So
Totally.
So we shopped like crazy and looked and we kind of decided to open up, like, hey, let's open up where we wanted to live. And we found a house it was on a golf course.
Wow.
5-bedroom, 3,000 square feet finished. And it was in our price range. We're like, this is crazy. Like, how did this happen? And so we go and look at it. And apparently what had happened to the house is the foundation, so it was where the walkout basement was, had slipped. The slab that it was on had slipped about an inch. And it had caused ripple cracks all the way through the house. And so the drywall was a mess. The carpet, the owners had just kind of like given up on the house. So it was just,
wow.
It was a big mess.
Yeah.
But it was in our price range.
That's crazy.
So we're like...
What were they, just like a family? Or?
Yep, just a family that...
But just never really looked after.
That I think they were just so disappointed that their investment had in their opinion, had gone bust.
Totally.
So they were just like...
It was a money pit for them.
It was a money pit for them.
Wow.
And so I think they had just kind of taken on a mentality of like, there's nothing we can do. We just need to unload this house.
Gotcha.
So it's in our price range, tons of contingencies in, like, if you're going to set an offer, like we're not going to fix the foundation. They had it was like $90,000 to mud jet or to drill down to bedrock to be able to hoist it up.
Oh my gosh.
And they had an engineering report that said that the house was faulty.
Wow.
And so we came in.
That's, yeah. I mean, you're not going to do any. That's really crazy.
It's anyway, expensive. Yeah. So we came in and I brought in some people. My realtor was fantastic. Get a good realtor. Yeah. Especially if you're not 100% familiar with how things are going to work, paying the price for a realtor, I would do that every time.
Exactly.
Almost every time I've done a real estate transaction.
So trusting people with knowledge,
Yes.
And if the person you're with doesn't work or is not working the way you want it to work, fire that person.
Yes.
Get someone better. It's no use going through the struggle because they're a family friend, right?
Right.
Like you need to have an advisor who's like aligned with you and that. So
well, and you don't want to put the relationship with somebody that you love on the line,
right?
Because when money gets involved, resentment closely follows that. So
good.
So we had an excellent realtor. My dad had done some building, and he's kind of a jack of all trades type of guy.
Cool.
We came in, we looked at the house, and everybody was saying, hey, I think it's not as big of a deal as these people think it is. So we had our own engineering report done. We did our due diligence, and we'd found out that instead of the slab continuing to slide down, it had actually settled and actually had moved back to a normal level.
No way.
And so the differential elevation in the basement had actually leveled off, and so we put in the offer. We ended up getting the house for $167,000.
Jeez.
The day after we moved in, we brought in a drywall guy for $250. He sealed everything. It was like $25 an hour. Worked
nice.
a day.
Good.
And we instantly had $150,000 in equity in our house overnight.
So pretty much the value outside of the foundation stuff.
Right.
The actual value of the house was how much?
Right after we bought it, we appraised at like $315,000.
Jeez, that's so crazy.
Yeah, it was almost instantaneous. We had added that value. It was, I mean, I don't know, what everybody's view is on, is God real and does God care about these types of things? And for us, it was a God moment.
Yeah,
of
like
finding
miracle,
the perfect
right?
place. It was a miracle.
That's so crazy,
Yeah.
and like that's more than a double, right? Of like
right.
it's like close to double.
It was close to double, yeah.
Yeah, wow, like that's unheard of. I mean, you get like an average of 15% returns in the like S&P 500, right? That's like 100%.
Yeah, instantly, yeah.
Almost instantly, yeah.
Right.
Wow, what a story. And so I mean, like a few things that I got out of that is like, number one, you know, don't be afraid to know what the situation is. Make sure you know the situation. Investigate. I see a lot of business people trying new ideas too quick.
Sure. And
I think that relates to real estate as well.
Yeah.
Like if you don't do enough due diligence, it could bite you really bad.
Yes.
I've not done, like in some companies where it was my own startup idea, I started it quick. I was like, oh, this is going to be awesome. And that never worked. But when I do the due diligence, 2 of my companies have been really successful just because of due diligence.
Sure.
And research.
Yep. So surround yourself with people who are smarter than you and aren't impressed by you.
Yeah, they're just like, hey.
People that can tell you.
I love that.
My dad has told me plenty of times, what are you thinking? I will not support you in this.
That's so cool.
With business stuff. So, and it makes me mad at the time, and later I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true.